Evening. Can't see me very well here, but you know, I thought I'd just get something off my chest. I've had a really bad day. My mind has been all over the place. Just a typical Monday almost. It's just I've been in a really bad headspace. Just felt miserable all day. It's probably just to do with work and what's going to happen with it, but just not thinking positively at all. So it came to sort of late afternoon and I was still thinking that same way. I was like, ugh, miserable day. I was meant to go out for a run. Don't know if I can be bothered. So then I put dinner on. Thought, we'll have a wee glass of wine or something. But yeah, I just thought, nah, hold on a minute. Get out of that. Get a grip of yourself. You said you were going to go for a run. Go for a run. I looked outside. Freezing cold. Icy. I was like, really? I said, no. Go for a run. You said you were going to. Got changed. Went out. And I'm obviously still out just now. But even after the first kilometre or so, it's like, oh, I've got a wee niggle. Oh, maybe I should just go back. But it's like, no, what are you doing with yourself? Keep going. And you know what? It's an hour later, and I feel absolutely brilliant. Head is completely turned around. Feel great. Fresh air. It's just epitomises everything that I always say. Get out. Forget why you're in a bad mood or whatever it is. Oh, and I feel so refreshed. And when I get back to the house, I'll go through that front door and I'll go, yes! 12 miles done. I said I was going to do nothing, and there it is. And you know what that's all about? And this is where I think it clicks. You feel best when you can't be bothered in the first place. See, if I was all up for it tonight, I was like, oh, I'll go for a run, come back. It's like, oh yeah, great. But see, because I couldn't be bothered, and I didn't want to, and I've come out and I've done it, that just goes to show how powerful the brain is when it comes to overcoming when you feel crap. So I'm so glad I went out. I just wanted to get that off my chest just right now. And remember, if you feel terrible and you don't want to go out, walk, run, whatever, you're like, nah, I'm just going to stay in. That's when you do it. Because see, half an hour later, you're like, oh, I feel brilliant. I'm so glad I did it. There you go. Good night.